Hello everyone and welcome back to NT Game with me, Tukx. We've got Alex here with me today.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go over the second week of features for the April feature pack for Guild Wars 2. The first thing that they've announced is social play improvements. What do you think that means?
Social play improvements.
Yeah. What do you reckon? What do you reckon is going to be coming with that? Any idea?
Well, I guess just trying to get people to play with friends more frequently, I guess.
Uh, not at all actually. What has been listed is guild members. As a guild master, you can now see when your guild members were last online, which is a useful feature for people that only want to have like
Didn't even know
members,
that wasn't in the
active
game already.
members.
I
Yeah,
thought that was already in there.
it's not in
That
the
is
game at all.
shocking that was not in there. That's like such an easy thing. I never even paid attention to it, like when I was in a guild. Didn't even
Yeah, you
never
can't
even
see
thought
when
about it.
someone was last online.
That is
Wh-
really bad.
Well, you can now anyway. So
Oh yeah, like what, a year down the line? 2 years down the line?
2 years, yeah. Oh,
Pretty poor.
it's a year and a half.
It's pretty poor.
Anyway, you know the looking for group system that they
Yeah.
came out a while ago. They've now added a World v World category to this, so you can kind of find groups within World v World,
Okay.
which is okay.
Any looking for group system's better than no looking for group system, let's face it.
Yeah, this did come in a while ago, so I'll kind of brush over this. And you can also specify your language for the looking for group system, so you can just. I mean, I don't think it stops people from joining, but it kind of has like
Gives
it
you a
kind of says
preference.
that the primary language for the group is say English or French or whatever.
Yeah. That's good. Because one thing that does annoy me, and I won't be the only person that like I'm English, so when I'm in a party and if I want to speak to people, I want to be able to speak back to me
Yeah,
and not just see some like hieroglyphics on the screen. I don't want that.
yeah.
Makes
I
me sound a
mean,
bit harsh, but we're there to do a purpose and to complete the dungeon. And if people can't understand, like if they're messing up and they can't understand what I'm saying, then what's the point of them being there?
yeah. I mean, to be fair, us British are quite ignorant to other languages. We don't really learn them. But then again, I have been in groups where I've come into a group and they're all speaking like German or something, and I'm the only person that speaks English, and I don't have a clue what they're saying. So you kind of have to like guess what they mean.
Yeah,
The four other people all speaking German, I'm just kind of like not saying a thing because I don't know what the hell they're on about.
yeah,
But it
yeah.
might just be us. But I'm sure a lot of people might have come across this at some point.
I think everyone's come across it at least once
Yeah,
in a game time.
yeah.
But
Well, yeah. The last thing that they've said about the social play wasn't really that specific, but I'll give the quote. It says, "Finally, we've improved the support for guild members in the system and made some improvements on the back end to reduce opportunities for griefing."
okay,
So I don't know what that exactly means, but I mean, reducing griefing has to be a good thing, right?
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I got out of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's pretty much just trying to like keep it so people don't get annoyed so much, right? It's pretty much
Yeah.
trying to what they do behind
And
that. Not much more they can do.
that's all I got really out of that. It wasn't
Yeah,
that specific as to what it meant, but I'm sure we'll find out what that means a bit later on. Maybe they were being kind of avoiding what they actually wanted to say
yeah,
without saying too much.
yeah.
We move on to the next point. In total, there is only 4 points this week, but the second one is account bound World v World XP, legendaries, and ascended gear. I mean, I mentioned to you earlier that the legendaries and ascended gear are now changing from soulbound to account bound when bound to you, which is good.
That's a good thing because let's face it, you spend all that time doing a legendary, and just for it to be one character, and if you get bored of that character,
Yeah,
that's just a big slap in the face. So the fact that, yeah, and the same with ascended gear.
yeah.
Like
And I
if
mean,
you can just move it across, it's nice.
to be honest, I told you that I bought the wrong was it necklace? I bought
Yeah.
one of the wrong trinkets, didn't I?
Mm.
Because I wanted it for a certain thing. And I've only got like an extra 5 power or something. I was like, well, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I wanted like extra magic find or something. But I
Yeah.
completely bought the wrong one. It's like, well, what am I going to do with it? I can now give it to Nault, hopefully,
Exactly.
and then buy myself a new one, which is going to cost me more laurels in the process. But hey,
At least it doesn't go to waste though.
yeah, because before you couldn't do anything with it. You could just stick it in your bank.
Yeah. I mean, I think it comes to the stage where all games like this need to make certain things account
Account
bound.
wide, yeah.
Yeah, especially like it takes well, I haven't played in a while, but I'm guessing it's still exactly just as hard as it was to get legendary as it was.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nothing's
So
changed.
yeah,
Even in this patch, we
which
do
which
touch
is
upon it
good
later on.
because you don't want it to be easy. Right at the
No.
end of the day, you don't want it like they're meant to be the best weapons in the game for the reason. So it's good that they can make it account bound, which is just
I
a
wouldn't say
good idea.
best, but they're the rarest. I would say is the fairer thing to say.
But if not the best, then what's the point?
Because they look cool. You know this game is all about looking cool.
Yeah, but that's just pointless.
Because they're just as good as Ascended gear, but the Ascended gear doesn't look that great. Whereas you think
No.
about the legendary greatswords compared to like the Ascended greatswords, and they look really cool and they look unique. You're only going to get that sort of skin in that one place. That's what it's about. It's like, is the grind
Suppose.
worth it to you? And for me, I'd really like to have one of the Ascended greatswords, but it's trying to find time to actually like sort of grind it, and the money
Yeah.
really. The money is the main thing.
Yeah.
I
True.
mean, we are digressing a bit here. One of the other points, which I said, was the account-bound World v World XP. Like I mentioned to you earlier, that was separate on all your characters. You would have like separate levels in World v World.
Yeah.
But from when the patch is released on April 15th, it's going to go account-wide. So you just have to log on to each of your characters, similar to when your gold went account-wide. So that's just going to be like another currency in your account, and it's just going to add up.
That's good. Well, of course, it's good because that means you spend so much time on one thing. You don't have to start from scratch or anything. You can just you'll be that rank. It's prestigious at the end of the day.
It all goes into one pool.
Yeah.
But another good thing that comes out of this is the ability points for World v World, which you've probably never looked at, to be honest. Those those reset on the patch release day.
Yeah.
This is good because it means you can respec, but this also means that on different characters you can have different specialities.
Yeah.
Because some are like supply carrying speciality, which means you can carry more supply.
Yep.
And there's one like battering ram speciality, which means that you're better at using a battering ram and you do more damage.
Yeah.
You can have different specialities in different characters, so you could say play on multiple characters for depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting playstyle, especially as if it's like peak time and you can't really get back into the World v World. But
yeah,
we'll think about that a bit later on.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, I'm not an expert in World v World. I've done it like twice. I'm not a fan of anything to do really with that. But
any PvP really for you?
Pretty much, it just bores me. I prefer. It's like World v World's definitely better than PvP, and I've done it a couple of times, but it doesn't excite me in any way.
I liked it though, not even MMOs at all. So
no, so
it's fair enough. If it's not what you like, it's not just guild wars that you're against. It's just general.
Oh yeah. I just like to clarify. I hate PvP like everything I do. I much prefer getting a group of people and going to kill something. That's what I like.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't actually play guild wars right now because it's not really in the game.
They are bringing a lot of cool new features though in these patches.
Yeah, some stuff sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on and see what we think of the next bit. The next one is titled "Say Goodbye to Armor Repair Costs and Hello to Free Trades."
Free armor repair is always good.
So, of course, armor repair is now free. You still have to actually repair your armor. I'll just clarify that. So you still have to repair it, but it's going to be free.
That's cool.
What they've said is that they think it's a punishment enough that you're going to have to kind of drop out and go back and repair and kind of go out your way to repair. So they've said that's the punishment as opposed to actually dropping gold on it as well.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
That's cool.
But what they've had to do to kind of balance out this, because that's going to have sort of a change in the economy, isn't it? Because people will have more gold.
Yeah. So I suppose.
So what they've said they're going to have to do is they're going to reduce the raw gold drop from champion loot bags.
Okay.
So the actual raw gold you get, so not the items, the actual raw gold value inside the bags themselves is going to reduce slightly, just to kind of balance it out.
I suppose that's fair enough. I mean,
it just means there won't be any inflation on prices, because if people have more gold, it means that prices go up on things.
Yeah, I understand that, but it does also seem a little bit pointless.
It's just
because
sort of balancing, really. That's it.
because at the end of the day, you have to zone out to go repair anyway, or unless there's like you got like an instant canister or something, you know. So
Yeah.
if you're already there, what does it matter if you spend a little bit of money? Whereas if they just go, well, you go out because it's not like it stops you from going out now. You just like, oh, it's free anyway, but you still have to leave, which I can understand they're saying, well, that's the punishment. But when you're there anyway, just pay the money and come back
Yeah.
and keep the gold the same. Like they could have just not changed it. It pretty much makes zero difference.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't make any difference, but it makes you feel a bit better. I think at the end of the day, I mean, it makes me feel a bit better because
I personally, I don't think it'll make a difference to me. If I know I'm going to get it free, but then I'm getting less gold anyway. I mean, sure enough, fair enough, you do it for the items usually, but it's nice to get the extra money. But
I think that what they're aiming for is just to make no difference really to the economy. It's
but
just
the thing is, you spend money doing the waypoints. So if
yeah.
you're getting less money, then the waypoints are going to just completely like rape your money. Because they do anyway.
Mm,
They do until you open your bags if you do a big grind, right? You waste probably like a couple of gold. Depends how long you're going for, but you can waste quite a few gold if you do a long champion farm.
yeah, I think so.
So if they're gonna make it less money, then
I think
yeah,
I think what it also
almost
does
pointless.
is makes champion farms less viable because you get less money from them, and they will cost more to do because of the waypointing as well.
But that was like the only fun thing to do at the end game.
Well, I wouldn't say it was fun.
I didn't mind doing it. It's like the only thing I had to do.
She wants to grind, but yeah.
Oh no, it's like I didn't do anything else.
Let's move on before this gets any worse.
That is just a pointless thing to me. I don't see why they've done that.
Fair enough.
That's just completely pointless in my eyes.
I think we both have different views on that. I don't think we're going to get to any agreement anytime soon.
No, not until you agree with me.
The Mystic Forge has been changed slightly.
Okay.
They're adjusting the distribution of rares and exotics.
Okay.
So they weren't specific on this as well. It just kind of says adjusting the distribution. So whether they're upping the rates of rares and exotics, possibly.
Yeah, I guess so.
They weren't very specific on it, but they have clarified that the precursor drop rate will remain the same. So they're not changing that at all.
Well, that's good, I suppose. Keeps the challenge of getting one like that way.
So what they're actually doing with the other drop rates hasn't been specifically stated or clarified, but precursors are staying the same.
Okay.
And
not too bad then.
Yeah, we touched upon this one last week, the trait points.
Yeah.
That you can reset them anywhere.
Yep.
We talked about a currency for them, and it's now been clarified that it's going to be free, so you can just carry on doing it anywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's good because I mean I know for a fact that like some people will get carried away, and if it was costing money, it would just completely drain their money.
Yeah, if it's costing money or some other sort of.
Or at the end of the day, the only thing in Guild Wars that is actually would stop people from like doing it all the time would be pretty much just money, because people would be like, oh, I'm running out of money, I can't keep doing it. If it's skill points or something, people would just be like, oh, I get some more of them. What's it matter? I can use them all. I don't care. And screwed. So, but with money, I mean, and now it's free, it's fine anyway.
Well, we've got to the final point now. That was nice and quick.
Yeah.
But I have told you this is the big one.
Oh.
This is a PvP reward, tracks, and gear.
Another thing I'm super interested in.
Yep, PvP. This is probably going to be quite breezed through, to be honest, because you're not so interested in PvP. I don't do much PvP. I do a little bit to kind of get various things, but we'll see what you think. First of all, they're removing PvP items from the game.
Okay.
You're going to carry over your looks, your actual gear looks from World v World and PvE now.
Okay.
Because before you kind of had your separate gear.
Yeah.
For PvP.
It looked awful.
Yeah. But now it's carried over from the other places.
Okay.
Although the PvP stats are still separate from PvE, so the stats aren't pulled over. That's completely different. But I'm going to touch upon that a little bit later on.
Okay.
Any skins that you collected via PvP that were in your wardrobe will now be collected in the account wardrobe. So that means you're not going to lose any of your skins that you actually kind of built up. I know you won't have any at all, but I've got a few.
Yeah.
But those are going to go straight into the account wardrobe, which is quite good actually, because it almost seemed quite easy getting the ones in PvP compared to PvE, because some you'd have to grind for. I mean, it was random in PvP,
Yeah.
but it was also a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to get specific ones, but to get rarer ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I understand.
Right. There will be a vendor for PvP to sell like basic gear that you can apply the skins to, just so you actually have sort of the gear to actually look the part, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You still have to have something equipped.
Yeah. Okay.
Now this is a brand new thing that I was saying. They've completely overhauled the PvP system. This is called PvP reward tracks. I'll read out this long ass quote here. I'm probably gonna triple over all of my words, but let's give it a try. A reward track is a set of rewards that you can earn by playing PvP.
Okay.
Each track has rewards at certain intervals, some that you can earn in just a couple of matches, bigger rewards that you can earn in a play session, and really sweet end prizes that you can earn in a few play sessions. Examples of rewards you can look forward to include various levels of loot boxes, crafting materials, transmutation charges, weapons, armor, skill points, and more. At regular intervals, you will earn tomes of knowledge, and that will allow you to level up and earn new skill points for any of your characters. End of quote.
That's quite good, I suppose. Get a variety of stuff just by
Yeah,
playing. The more effort you put into playing, the more rewarded you get.
pretty much.
Pretty straightforward, but pretty good.
They have announced new back piece that's only available for PvP, so
Okay.
that's pretty cool. It means that you get your own sort of rewards now, because before PvP was a little bit neglected, I think.
Yeah.
They've got rotating dungeon reward tracks. This means that you can play PvP and get specific dungeon rewards.
Okay.
So, say the dungeon of the week, that's a guess, it might not be a week, but say the dungeon of the week is, say, Citadel of Flame.
Yeah.
You can get weapon skins, armor skins, and tokens from that dungeon just by PvPing, because you just select what you want.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Which is really cool. It means that you're actually getting stuff from doing PvP as opposed to doing the dungeons, which is different.
Yeah.
If you complete the dungeon story mode, the actual proper story mode in the dungeon, you can access the that track at your leisure.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait for it to be on the rotation schedule. You can just do it. You can earn rewards from that dungeon at any time you want.
Okay, that's cool.
Otherwise, you'd have to wait for it, of course, to actually come back on the schedule.
Okay. That's
I
not
think the
bad.
best way to describe the reward track as to someone that's not actually looking at it is it's sort of like an XP bar that you kind of like earn your way up. If that makes sense. You get rewards at various steps of the way.
Yeah, there are various points through the thing, right?
Yeah, I think that's how it works, and you like sort of assign your points to those bars, maybe. At least that's what it looks like on the pictures to me. Like,
Yeah.
you assign however many points you've earned from your thingy bob, from your match, to a various sort of pool, and when it gets to however many points, you get the reward. So, say if it's like 1,000 points, you get to 1,000 and you get the reward.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like how it's going to work to me.
Okay.
They're also going to do Living World and holiday events for these reward tracks.
Okay.
Which is good. It means that people that do PvP specifically can actually get rewards from the Living World and holiday events.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it means they're not missing out, because some people I do know kind of miss out because they're interested in PvP. I mean, for me, it's almost the complete opposite. I'm not really that super interested in PvP.
Yeah.
I will do some.
Yeah. I mean, like for me, I'm not interested. So just in PvP, so
it's whatever really for you. But it could be an alternative really for you. I mean, you might consider it if it seems easier to get your reward via PvP.
I don't like it being easy. I just don't like. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things you don't know how much easier it's going to be. If it is any easier, but we'll have to wait and see with that one, because we're not entirely sure how the system works.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a thing to just test, see what it's like.
But of course, the living world and holiday events are only available for the duration of the event. That makes perfect sense to
Oh
me.
yeah, that's yeah.
It just means that they would be an advantage because
Yeah.
they're PvP. Yeah. I'll move on to the next point. You can earn legendary and ascending crafting materials via the new system in PvP, which means that PvPers can get legendaries and ascended items.
Yeah, it's good
Because
for
before
people
they
because
were a bit neglected, weren't they? Because they couldn't actually get them, because they couldn't get the materials unless you'd done
yeah,
sort of actual real world stuff.
yeah, that
You
is good just for that fact.
Yeah, you do still need to get the exploration one and other ones like that. There still are ones you have to go into the world to get, so you need to get the exploration gift. And there's another one, but I can't remember what that was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, doing exploration's not. I mean, anyone could do that, even if they prefer PvP, and they could just take a day or a few hours, in fact, and just go around.
Yeah.
And then they
It
won't
doesn't
have to
take
do the
too
PvP
long.
ones. Like with me, I'm left with the PvP ones because I never PvP, so I have to
Yeah.
specifically go there to get those points.
Yeah.
Whereas out in the world, it's pretty much just like I can do that whenever.
Right, there's not too much more to say about this. There's now a PvP build panel in the UI.
Yeah.
It's all very simple to use, but it's incredibly difficult to explain. I did say this to you earlier. So what I'm going to do with this one is sometime around now. I'm not going to say exactly now because my editing, I'm very lazy. At sometime around now, I will show a picture that kind of explains it better than I could. It's just a picture, but it's more visually explaining than me kind of going through and trying to explain it.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
There's going to be new sigils, runes, and amulets to be unlocked for account with gold and skill points. This is for PvP.
Okay.
So sort of different stat things
Yeah.
that you can kind of buy from the UI, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't know what different stat kind of combinations they're going to have, but we'll have to wait and see with that one. At the top of the HUD, there's a new quick launch bar in PvP. This will access your PvP build, like I just said, your game browser and arenas. So you've just got like a quick start bar, so you don't have to run to all the different sort of people, because you have to run to the match guy and the arena guy while you're in. Then they can just kind of queue up while you're in the mists.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, that's good. Much more accessible.
Yeah, definitely. It's just a lot easier to kind of queue up and get into a match.
Yeah, it means you don't have to, like you say, you don't have to run everywhere. You can literally click, maybe go do something, come back.
There's not really much you can do in the mist, to be honest, other than like hit some dummies, but
Yeah.
you haven't really tried it out. So we'll kind of brush over that, and we go on to the next point. The PvP ranks, there's different PvP ranks.
Yeah.
From over 39, they've been rebalanced.
Yeah.
To make the ranks slightly more attainable.
Okay.
Because I think before they were a little bit too hard to get. So they've kind of rebalanced it to make it a bit easier to get to them, because they were ridiculously high. Like some of the rank points you needed was insane.
Okay.
Which isn't too much there. I think you're always going to be a rabbit for all eternity.
Pretty much. I don't know. I've done like a couple of games of PvP. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what I am.
Yeah. I can't even remember what I am. Let me just have a quick look. I'm actually still a rabbit, but I'm about a third of the way through rabbit. So you and I are both as bad as each other.
Yeah, pretty much. Like the only time I PvP is when I was trying to get the waypoints and everything, and stuff like that. The points of interest and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And we've now come to our final point. So I think this video has actually been a bit shorter than before.
Well, yeah, the last one was a bit long.
The final point is PvP and PvE dailies and monthlies are now combined.
Okay.
So they're no longer separate entities. You just have a monthly,
a daily.
And a daily.
Yeah.
Okay. But this won't affect sort of how it works. You still have the ability to complete it entirely in one or the other.
Yeah.
So it's not going to force you to do PvP if you don't do PvP. You can still do it completely PvE or completely PvP if you choose, but it just gives you that option to kind of mix it up and go for maybe the easier ones.
See, I like that for the fact is, right, because you used to have both, yeah. So,
Yeah,
and I kind of like with the monthlies, I can't remember what way around it was, but you used to do the normal monthly and then like the PvP one as well, right?
yeah,
So you get more laurels, and I'd
yeah.
feel like I miss out because I could not be bothered to do PvP
Oh yeah,
just to get the 10 extra laurels.
yeah.
So that's what I like about it. And now it stops people that fair enough. If you do both, that's fine. You get more laurels, more
It's a
reward
lot of
for
effort,
more
but
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. But
But
it's annoying
it
knowing
puts
that.
everyone on an even playing
Yeah,
field, really, doesn't it?
exactly. So I can still do my own thing and get the stuff I need, whereas I don't have to try or attempt to do something I don't want to do just to get extra stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's the last point. We've come to an end.
Woo!
So I just want to say that I'm currently doing a giveaway for my 50th video. That's on my Twitter. I will put a link to the video on this video. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and you'll be automatically entered into the giveaway where you can win a free Steam game, any game you want.
Ooh.
Yeah, big oo. Um,
Ooh.
so there'll be another video next week. That will be the last one of these April feature patch ones because that should be everything. And as always, Tukx out.
See you later.
Bye.